Welcome to the muck for playoff football action. It is the Class 2A Region 3 quarterfinal between the 3 seed, the Glade Central Raiders, who come into this game 9-1 on the season, coming off a Muck Bowl win, versus Coach Dan Burak's Kings Academy Lions, who are at 5-5 in 2025. Good evening, folks. My name is Christian Catt, on the call for the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith Ball, Baez, and Prather on High School Game Day. Alongside the coach, Jimmy Bell, it's playoff time. Coach, what's going on?
Oh, just glad to be back, man. I'm glad you could make it back safely. Good to see you again, and I'm excited about tonight because these are two of the top programs in the county. Glade's winning the district. They're hosting tonight. Kings Academy on the road again. It's going to be an interesting football game.
Of course, with this pseudo bye week, because of the unpredictable weather in South Florida, they leave that there in case there's a hurricane situation where games need to be rescheduled. Both teams come into this game very refreshed or rusty. What do you do in this 2-week gap before your playoff game?
Well, you don't want to overcoach, but what you mainly want to do is focus on the small things, everything detailed. You know that Glade Central came out of the Muck Bowl a couple of weeks ago. They checked that box. That's one of the big victories of the season for them. But tonight, they're trying to get on that road to get what many wouldn't understand. One of the top schools in all of Palm Beach County, their 7th state championship. Ahokee has 6. They got a huge win last night against Fort Meade to try to get their 7th. Glade Central's on their way tonight to do the same.
We will see the Kings Academy offense first as Glade Central kicks this one away, kicks it deep, and it will be returnable at the goal line. They'll take it out of the 5, 10, 15, 20. In the second level, 30, 35, and wrapped up short of the 40-yard line. Good return that by Kings Academy to get the game started by Roman Driggers on the return.
Yeah, Kings Academy, they have to do everything right in terms of discipline. They know that they can't make any mistakes against this Glade Central football team. Glades, this has been the tale of 2 seasons. They started the season averaging over 40 points per contest. In these last 4 games, however, they've only scored 14. If I'm Kings Academy, that's the kind of game I want tonight. Make Glade Central go the length of the field and cause mistakes on their offensive and defensive side.
Kings Academy familiar with this Glade Central squad. They played in mid-October several weeks ago, where Glade Central got the 22-19 win. Direct snap to the running quarterback, and nothing going that time by Arden Gentry. Gentry on the carry, left side, and loses, or actually just gets right back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10.
Good job by Vakevius Jones on that play, coming off the right side of the Glade Central defense, making that tackle in the backfield. And that's what you have to do. You got to shed a block. Kings Academy is going to try to run, control the clock.
Bunch set, and they switch everybody from an overloaded left-hand side to an overloaded right-hand side. Kings Academy with the football. Another direct snap, running it right side, and not much going there either. Glade Central packing bodies in the box, stopping the rushing attack of Kings Academy.
You know, I think that kind of plays into the hands of these Raiders. They've seen this attack before. They realize that King wants to control the game by running the ball. They'll dedicate a lot of guys to the line of scrimmage to try to stop this run to get them in long yardage situations.
So 3rd and down here early. We are streaming live on YouTube at ESPN West Palm, on Facebook, ESPN West Palm, and on X, ESPN Top 63. Winner go home from here on out as the weather begins to cool. Gentry running it left side with a bunch of blockers out there across the 35-yard line. 40, 45, stretches forward and gets brought down 2 yards short of the line to gain. Officially mark him 1 yard short of the line to gain. He made his way all the way to the 47, and it will be 4th down and short. Looks like Kings Academy's rushing up to the line. They're going to go for it here on 4th and 1. Overloaded left-hand side. Gentry on the carry once again. Fighting forward. Glade Central looks like they got to stop. Both sides are pointing their respective directions. It looks like he did not get nearly enough, and the Raiders get a stop on 4th and short. And the official marking is no gain on 4th and 1. Raiders offense now getting their first chance. Or now the officials are actually going to call an official timeout to get the best measurement possible. But from up here, didn't look like there was anything questionable about that spot or really the reason to bring the chain gang out, but they will. And there will be a half-yard short of the line to gain. Turnover on downs.
I think all they were doing just trying to see if the chain game was alive because they weren't even close on that. 4th down, the Raiders You know, what you would have thought on that play, Kings Academy would have given them a hard count to try to make them jump, hoping they're undisciplined, but they went for it very quickly, almost on the first sign, and Glade Central was ready for that play.
So it is a 4 and out for the Kings Academy offense. The first drive of the game, and now we will see the Glades Central offense come out led by senior quarterback Taj Barnes, who has 18 touchdowns, 3 interceptions in his senior campaign. He also is a threat on the ground, totaling 270 rushing yards in 2025 with 3 tutties added with his legs. Good field position for Glade Central. They take over on the plus side of the field. 1st and 10 from the 47.5-yard line. Trips left, lone receiver right for Barnes. Only one down lineman for Kings Academy. They hand it off left side. Stinford doesn't get much. He loses the football, and Glade Central jumps right on top of it. Armand Stinford with a carry. Gained maybe a half yard, maybe nothing. It's 2nd and long.
You know, Barnes played a great game a couple of weeks ago when we did the Muck Bowl. Just one of those guys, cool in the pocket, threw 2 touchdowns in that game, helped his offense, made some positive plays, as you said, with his legs, and just a smooth player at that quarterback position.
You mentioned before that Muck Bowl, always an emotional win. Max Preps deemed it the best rivalry in the state of Florida for a reason. We didn't need them to tell us that. We knew that already. But it has been 2 weeks since that moment on Halloween night. We'll see first chance looking at Glade Central since then. 2nd down and 11. They deem Stinford lost a yard there. Barnes looking to pass, fires it left side, incomplete. Good defensive rally to the football. You had the 1-2 punch, well, literally meeting at the receiver. Hudson Champion delivered a hit, as did Levi Champion.
A big hit on that play, and that's what you've got to do to these Glade Central receivers. When they catch the football, you got to wrap them up, because yards after catch, that's how they make a living.
Levi Champion is nominated for the Grows Up Player of the Year in Palm Beach County. His tackle numbers are downright disgusting. 165 total tackles on the season, 24 tackles for a loss. He added on to that 2 interceptions, 3 forced fumbles. He is a force on the defensive side. 3rd down and long for Glade Central in plus territory. Barnes looking deep, fires it right side at the sticks. It's caught right near the line to gain, but I don't think they got the necessary yardage. It depends on the spot, and it will be 4th down and short as he just got past the 40-yard line. Needed to get to the 38. So 4th down and short, kind of the same down and distance that we saw from Kings Academy on their first offensive drive of the game.
Yeah, what you usually tell your receivers is go past the stick. So if you have to come back, you're already at the 1st down mark. But he ran a little short on that. Great catch, by the way, though, with a defender draped all over him.
We are on the ESPN South Florida app, streaming live, audibly, and visually on YouTube, ESPN West Palm. 4th down and short. At the 40-yard line, Barnes in the shotgun, looks left in the shotgun, fires it. No, he's going to roll to his right. Now he's going to tuck it and run at the sticks. He gets the 1st down and tucks out of bounds. Move the chains for an HSS 1st down. Glade Central gives us our first down of the game.
Well, that's always great to have a quarterback that can move in the pocket. Again, when you've got a guy who's not mobile, you kind of limit you offensively what you can do. Barnes on that play looked down the field for his 1st and 2nd read, wasn't there. Decided to go around the right side of this defense, get a huge 1st down.
Gets a gain of 4 to the 35. 1st and 10 Raiders. Glade Central trips left on offense, lone receiver to the right side. Only one defensive lineman with arms in the dirt for TKA. Go to the right side, it's incomplete. Across the middle of the field, trying to get a gain and more was freshman Madrion Blackman, but he did not complete the first part of that play, which is catching the football. It's 2nd down and 10.
You know, most receiving coaches will tell you catch the football because you're going to take a lick. So you go across the middle, you know there's a defender there. You got to put eyes on the football. Don't look at him. He's going to hit you anyway. He was lucky on that. He didn't take a big lick.
Blackman's got 1 touchdown on the season. Another receiver wearing number 83 is Judah Joseph, the junior, with 2 touchdowns. But the number 1 target for quarterback Taj Barnes is Algernon Crawford, freshman, 37 catches this year, 9 touchdowns. He has an 82-yard score this season, throwing it left side, caught in the flats. 1 broken tackle, but not enough. Nice just tackle by Hudson Champion. The senior DB broke through the block, got a hand on the jersey of the receiver and brought him down in the backfield, 3rd down and long.
Did a great job of not grabbing the back of the jersey. We all know that's a 15-yard horse collar. Grabbed him by the arm, slung him to the ground, but most importantly, he got off the block initially, like you said, got in the backfield and make a huge play for this defense.
3rd down and long from the 35. Glade Central with the ball. 7:40 to play in the first quarter. Spread formation as one man's brought in motion to the left side is Nembhard. A drop back and pass. Looking left is Barnes. He's got pressure on his blind side. Throws a deep ball. Jump ball it is. Deflected and incomplete. 2 different men had a chance at it. One from either side. It got deflected in the air. I believe it might have been Tice Porche who nearly had a pick. And then it was deflected up in the air, nearly having a circus touchdown. Catch was Braden and Brandt, but neither got the result that they wanted. Instead, he compromised with an incomplete pass, 4th and 10, and it looks like the special teams unit is coming onto the field for Glade Central.
You know, if Barnes had that one back, he would have said to himself, let's throw it a little further and a little quicker down the field. Had a man wide open. Unfortunately, he threw it a little late across the middle. Lucky that wasn't intercepted there on 3rd down.
Sophomore Christian Scroggins was applying that pressure on the blind side of Barnes. He has also been dominant in the trenches in 2025 as a sophomore. Punt nearly blocked, but it gets away. Fair caught at the 5, and the field position battle goes to Glades Central through 2 possessions in this game. 7:12 reads the clock. No score after the teams trade unsuccessful drives.
You know, you look at this Kings Academy team, they're playing right where they want to be right now. They want to keep the game in the low score, say the teens, if you will, or even in the low 20s, because they realize they can't get in a track meet with Glade Central. They want to be able to run the football, control the clock, and don't make any mistakes.
Talk about Kings Academy. It's that defense, man. That is what they got to rely on all night long and keep this one to a rock fight here at Glade Central High School, the home of the Raiders. Kings Academy on the road at their own 5-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Lions. Direct snap, running it left side. Champion into the 2nd level, breaking 1 tackle, and a couple other Raiders bring him down right near the line to gain. It appears he might be either 1 yard short or exactly gained 10 yards, and it will be a gain of 9. 2nd and 1 for Kings Academy.
You're the Lions. You're going to get an unbalanced line to the left side, and you hope that Glade Central, they don't make that adjustment. And so you have more guys to block than they have to tackle on that side. Good play there on 1st down.
Hudson Champion. No, it's a high snap. It goes into the backfield, scooped up. Glade Central's going to score. Touchdown, Glade Central. A miscommunication for the Lions ends up a touchdown for the Raiders.
You know, interesting on that play. I think what they were trying to do was you're going to snap the ball to one guy. One guy's going to fake as if he's going to catch a ball over his head, hoping the defense will look at it. But both of the guys fooled themselves, and they went away from the football, laid it on the ground. Glades took it in for a huge touchdown.
You're exactly right, Coach. Watching back the replay, there was nobody playing quarterback. Goodness gracious, what a disastrous result for Kings Academy. And right there to scoop up and say, thank you, sir, I'll take the touchdown fumble return, is Gary Mann, the senior. That kick goes up and it goes good. 7-0. Glade Central takes a touchdown lead. And isn't it always the seniors that get those easy touchdowns that they get very fortunate for? The freshmen that are busting their butt in their first year, the sophomores, they don't get those fortunate bounces as much.
Of course not. Seniors know where the ball is going before the play even happens. So, again, you're Glade Central. You want to take advantage of every opportunity that you get. Kings Academy on that play. Hey, it looked good when they drew it up on the board, but unfortunately nobody was at home when the snap came. So you got to find a way to fix that. Now you're down 1-0 in the turnover battle.
And we want to hear your thoughts. Make sure you comment on YouTube. ESPN West Palm, we want to hear your thoughts on the game, on the schools, on the players. We want you to root for your side. Hop on into the comment section and root for your Glade Central Raiders. Root for your Kings Academy Lions. Root for your side. Hop into the conversation on YouTube at ESPN West Palm or maybe on Facebook. Make sure you share share the stream on Facebook so everyone back home, everyone in the family and the friend group can catch this game live. Glades Central 7, Kings Academy 0, with 6:33 to play in the first quarter. It's kicked deep and will eventually go out in the end zone for a touchback. Quick, pretty much 90-second turnaround where Kings Academy has to have the memory of a goldfish, flush that down the drain, and pull themselves up by their bootstraps and put together an offensive drive here, down 7-0.
Well, CCAT, let's go back to the punt return, right? What you tell your return guys is you put your heels on the 10-yard line. If the ball goes over your head, you let it go in the end zone. Unfortunately for Kings Academy, they fielded the ball at the 5-yard line. So now you almost got to run in that situation to get a huge run on first down, and then they try a little fancy play there. It didn't work on second down.
1st and 10 for Kings at their own 20. Bunch set, no one split out wide. It's the rushing attack that we have come to know and expect from TKA in 2025. Shotgun handoff, Hudson Champion rolls it outside, and on the carry, Gentry gets brought down short of the line of scrimmage. Nothing going there, just pounding the football was the defense of Glades Central for a loss on 1st and 10, 2nd and long.
You know, I'm looking at the shirts of some of the fans here, and it says it's just a matter of pride. That's what's on the back of the Glades Central Raider fans, and it really is because, again, in game one when these two teams met, Kings Academy had their way. They were in striking distance late in that game, almost won that football game, 22-19. Glades wins it, but they've got to have some pride tonight, especially with this running game. Kings is going to run it for most of the night.
Back here on ESPN West Palm, it's high school game day presented by HSS and supported by Smith Ball Baez and Prather. It is the HSS Game of the Week. I'm Christian Catt on the call alongside the coach Jimmy Bell for this matchup of the 6th seed Kings Academy Lions. They're on the road taking on the 3 seed Glades Central Raiders. Clock reads 5:21 to play in the first quarter. Glades Central has a touchdown lead, 7-0. They score on a calamitous fumble on their own 5-yard line. Kings Academy, they got scooped up by the Raiders for a touchdown. It's the next offensive drive since that play. Another inside misdirection handoff, left side, following his blockers into the next level on 3rd and long, and brought down about 4 yards short of the line to gain that time was the ball carrier, Roman Driggers, as the junior could not get the necessary yardage, and it is 4th down and 4. Punt team on the field for Kings Academy.
You know, Roman got behind this defense, his offensive line, and he hid, and he's not a big player, so giving him the ball going back in misdirection was a good call there for Kings Academy. Just couldn't get outside for the first down.
Well, they're spotting this football. I believe we might have another timeout called. So brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacross. As the official with the white hat waves his arms and does give a timeout to Glades Central. Coach, what do you think could have been going on there for head coach Omar Huggabuk, who has a really good tight hold on things? He's nominated for the Groza Coach of the Year in 2025. In those special teams, when they're running a unit on the field, what's going wrong?
Well, what he's understanding is that, listen, they've got a different formation that I'm used to seeing out there. We want to make sure we got the right personnel on the field. There was a lot of confusion there on the Glade Central side. So let's get the right people on the field so we don't give them a free first down.
Glade Central going to get the football back. They punted on their only offensive drive of the game. Took over with the football in plus territory, but couldn't get a first down. Kings Academy, good snap. The punt is away, returnable from the 43, and then brought down immediately. Good pursuit of the punt return, that time by Kings Academy. Driggers was one man who was, as was James Cornett. Couple of juniors meeting at the return man. It'll be 1st and 10 for Glade Central, officially at their own 40-yard line. And as if the task wasn't difficult enough for this Kings Academy defensive unit, when your offense gives up 7 points from the jump, it makes it that much more difficult.
It does, because they're not used to playing from behind, and they play better when they're in the lead because they want to run the football. So what you got to do now is try to flip the field defensively and get the football back for your offense, give them a short field, and try to help them out a little bit.
1st and 10 from their own 40. Barnes in the shotgun with a tailback to his right. That's Stinford. Taj Barnes, quick pass, left side, caught at the 50 and brought down just past midfield. Move. Conversion.
A beautiful double. He comes out wide open.
In plus territory at the 48-yard line. First down for the Raiders. 1st and 10. Barnes just left to get the off signal from Coach Hugbook. You can actually see that his name on his back, which makes it really easy for us. Barnes looks right, throws a quick stop route. Our receiver screen caught high. A good pursuit to the ball carrier by Kings Academy. You give them an extra half second on a high pass and a wide receiver screen, and that defense of Kings can make you pay.
Well, I tell you, what you got to do is be able to run them all first and force them to have to back up. So when you give them that quick hook route on the sideline, what we call a quick hitch, then they have to respect it. But they're not respecting Glade Central speed right now. They're up their face. They haven't hit one down the field. They got 2 safeties. So it's making it hard to get over the top. Let's find the middle of the field. It's going to be wide open.
2nd and 10 from the 48, just past midfield. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right for quarterback Barnes. That spread formation, the slot man's brought in motion from the right side. Barnes drops back to pass. He steps across the middle of the field. It's just a little bit too tall and incomplete. Trying to link up with Joseph, the junior target. Could not haul it in. It hit him in the paws, but he didn't bring it down. 3rd down coming up and 11.
Sometimes quarterbacks throw it a little high because of the pressure in their face. As a receiver, you got to help him, though. You got to be able to grab that football. That's how you get your name called when you play on Saturday afternoon, if you can make those kind of catches.
Couple of dogs up front for the Kings Academy Lions D-line. Christian Scroggins, I mentioned, that sophomore, made an impact play earlier on. Another sophomore, Brayton, has had a great 2025 season with 13 tackles for a loss. But now it's up for Glade Central. They've got 3rd and long on a passing down. Pressure being shown by Kings Academy, and they don't really send much. Barnes steps up. He has a pressure in his face, throws it, caught 5 yards down the field. HS has 1st down, still on his feet, staying in bounds, and brought down at the 30-yard line. And there's a flag in the offensive backfield. It could be the hit on the quarterback, or it could be a hold preventing the pass rush from getting home. It'll be a hold against Glade Central, taking away a big play away from the Raiders and backing them up 10 yards for 3rd down and 21 instead.
Well, if I'm the Raiders, I'd take that, because if not, Barnes would have taken a huge lick on that. So sometimes in an offensive lineman, when you're beat, you got to grab the guy just to protect your quarterback.
Yeah, they call holding calls drive killers, but they also call unblocked defensive ends quarterback killers.
Yes,
and you'd prefer the first one than the second. 3rd down and 19 coming up for Glade Central. Maybe we see some sort of screen, or probably more of a conservative play call here from head coach Omar Hugabook. Trips left, lone receiver right. Ball is at the 41-yard line. Going to go all the way past midfield to the 38 to move the chains. Barnes steps up in the pocket, throws it across the middle of the field, deflected and incomplete. That looked to be another drop from a Glades Central receiver, and this one leads to a 4th down and 21. Punt team onto the field for Glades Central.
You talk about uncharacteristic. These guys usually catch everything like a BB in the dark. They don't miss a lot of footballs, do these receivers from Glades Central. But tonight, they're not concentrating. Goes back to that first game to let you know Kings Academy defensive backs must have been laying the wood because these guys are looking at the defender before they catch the football.
Back to return this punt at the 24-yard line is Kings Academy. Back there is Benjamin McPherson. Punting from their own 30-yard line is the punter for Glades Central. Kings Academy going for a block. They send heavy pressure up the middle, and it gets away. Returnable from the 20 across the 25-yard line. No blockers for McPherson, so he gets brought down at the 26. Great open field tackle that time by Roan Nemhard. The senior DB makes a good tackle in space, and tackles like that save you 5, 10, 15 yards easily.
Yeah, I agree with your partner. Let me tell you something. You don't get down there and Kings get the return set up. They're trying to usually run toward their sideline, but there were no blockers, as you mentioned. But you got to get down the field. That's why you put speed guys on the outside to try to get there before the ball gets there.
And it really is a craft to hustle your heart out down the field, but still break down and not let one cut ruin your chance at making the tackle on the man in space. They put him back there for a reason. It can be dangerous in space, McPherson, but Glades Central wins that 1v1 battle. 1st and 10 from the 26 for Kings Academy. Fresh face in at quarterback for Kings. In at QB is London Rensburg, a sophomore QB. Takes his snap in the pistol, hands it off left side. Trucking forward, but brought down immediately is Arden Gentry. Kings Academy's kind of had inconsistency on how they run their offense. We've seen the Wildcat. We saw back when sophomore Benaby was their starter. And that just has not been the case of what we've seen so far tonight.
But what they're really trying to do is give Glades Central a little bit more to look at than they did the first contest. Of course, Glades is going to scout them. They're trying to figure it out. Along the way, you make an end game, you may get a big run from the Kings Academy side due to that unbalanced line.
Trips left, lone receiver to the right side. Handoff once again, Gentry. Big blocking hole across the 40-yard line and brought down at the 45. The O-line of Kings Academy forced their will that time and made things a little bit easier for that senior tight end, running back, D-lineman Arden Gentry.
Yeah, right on cue. Again, getting the inside trap, coming from right to going to the left side, and then that's what you have to do. Glades penetrates up the field very quickly, so what you want to let them do is go up the field, trap them, get inside, and try to get a huge run.
Spread formation, pistol. Man brought in motion. They fake it to him. Gentry another carry, but there's nothing going there. It is a loss of 3 yards on 1st and 10 after that HSS first down. 2nd down and 13.
A host of guys on that tackle, just making sure that anytime you get penetration from a defensive line standpoint, it throws off the blocking schemes. You have to have gap integrity if you're Glades Central. You've got to get up the field and hit anything and everything you see moving.
So 2nd down and long. Ball at the 41. Line to gain is across midfield to the 46. Handoff. Gentry. No, it's a play action. No, it is Gentry on the carry left side. He even fooled me up here. Good sell that time from quarterback Rensburg, but too much of a gain that time. And nearly get back to the original line of scrimmage. Another 3rd and long, and not a spot the offense of Kings Academy is comfortable in 3rd and 11. 7-0 Glades Central, 40 seconds to go in the first quarter.
What they're simply saying is, listen, we'll play this close to the vest. As long as we don't make those mistakes like we did on the fumble, we'll keep it close, we'll punt it down, and hopefully you'll make a mistake.
Dropping back to pass, Rensburg fires across the middle. It's going to be incomplete. It was looking to link up with junior Jack Miller, but the throw is behind him, and the punt team comes onto the field for Kings Academy. Good stop that time from Glades Central after giving an explosive play to running back Gentry. 2 men deep to return this punt for Glades. They'll be setting up at their own 25. Not too much pressure shown on the line on this punt and not much given. Punt is away. Spiraling kick, fair catch signal, and fair caught at the 28-yard line. That is where Glade Central will set up shop. 15 seconds remain in this first quarter. 7-0 Glade Central on top in this win or go home regional quarterfinal here out in the muck. When you finish the season 9-1, you get that home field advantage, and you get to give your home crowd a little bit more football to watch in the comfort of their own home bleachers.
Yeah, the Raiders of Glade Central, storied program in Palm Beach County, always been in the conversation. There was a time where all 4 Glades teams, Clewiston, Gameday, Glade Central, and Pahokee, were all in the playoffs at the same time, all hosting, all less than 9 miles from each other. So, again, they're trying to get back to that top level where their name is in every conversation.
Barnes drops back to pass, looking to his left and steps up in the pocket. Heavy pressure. He's going to tuck it and run it. Tries to break out of a sack attempt, but is unable to. Couple of great plays made there in the offensive backfield by Kings Academy to not allow the evasive quarterback Barnes to spring free. How many times have you seen an athlete like Barnes step up in the pocket? Nobody's there and tuck and run, but stout defense and only holds Barnes to a 1-yard gain. And that is the end of the first quarter. 7-0 Glade Central on top. We will return here live on YouTube at ESPN West Palm. Back here live on YouTube, it's Glade Central football on 2nd down and 9. Got the football on their own 30-yard line. Line to gain is that 39. Glade Central wearing their all yellow unis. Kings Academy, blue bottoms, white tops, blue helmets. 9-1 Glade Central, 5-5 Kings Academy in this win or go home regional quarterfinal. Glade Central still looking for offensive success. Both sides are really. The only points were on a defensive score. Offensive miscue as Barnes running for his life, and he gets brought down in the backfield. Scroggins was there, but he was not there before Arden Gentry, who gets the sack and backs up Glade Central for 3rd and very long.
Great defensive play, but Barnes has to have a better clock in his head. That rush came from the right side. He should have been able to see that, but what he did was he tried to evade the defender, and he pulled him down. You got to get the ball out in space. Don't take that big sack to help your offense.
So it feels like we've seen a couple of times in the past 5 minutes, Glade Central backed way behind the sticks on 3rd down. The previous was an offensive holding call that prevented a sack like that, and this one was because of the sack. And now Taj Barnes has 2 backs flanking him on either side, 2 receivers right, and a lone receiver to the left side. Ball's at the 21-yard line. Line to gain is up towards the 39. As Barnes looks right, throws right on the wide receiver screen, incomplete. 4th down and long, and another punt coming our way from Glade Central. Kings Academy's defense keeping them in this game. Neither offense has really held their part of the bargain quite yet.
And that's what Kings is saying. Listen, we're going to play it. We're going to run the football. We're going to punt it down. Hopefully you make a mistake offensively and we can get a quick score just like you did. But nevertheless, when on the side of Glade Central, Omar Hogebo has to be saying to himself, listen, what has happened to us? We were averaging 40-plus points in the first 5 games, now only 14 per contest. They got to find a way to fix it. They're making too many mistakes on the offensive side.
And a timeout is going to be called. Brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost before that Glades Central punt. The second timeout called by Glades Central, and both of those had to do with their special teams. One of which was a punt return, and that time was on the punt itself. I think that might be the leading source of gray hairs among head coaches, timeouts or penalties on special teams.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So I got a few because, again, you're in the situation, you practice this all week, you got a special teams coordinator. You hope they get it together, but for some reason, they're a little off tonight are the Raiders in terms of their special teams. So you got to try to fix that. And we got one timeout here left in the first half.
So back deep to return this punt for Kings Academy. Once again, will be Benjamin McPherson. McPherson lost his last battle where he tried to make a Glade Central Raider in space miss, and he did not do that. We'll see what happens here. It looks like Kings Academy is looking to send the house on this punt. They want to make a big play happen on defense and special teams to cover up the Band-Aid pretty much with their offense. They do send pressure with the middle, and the punt gets away. Great job by Glade Central. Returnable from the 45, 50, running it outside on the edge and brought down past the 45-yard line in plus territory for Kings Academy, and they've got the best field position they have had all night long. We'll see how the Glade Central defense can put a stop to Kings Academy once again this evening. 10:45 to play in this second quarter. 7-0 Glade Central on top of Kings Academy. Okay. Okay, so we're going to do this. I'm going to disconnect from 3:27 to play in the first half. And Coach, we're back up in live audio-wise. Anyone that's been watching on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook has been able to watch what's unfolded so far. 7-0. Glade Central on top of Kings Academy. Glade Central with the football. 3rd down and 5.5.
Glade still trying to find their way down the field offensively. Got a little rhythm here. Barnes has made some good throws, ran the football, and helped his offense a little bit.
Barnes looking to throw, pumps it, fires, got a man open on the sideline, caught at the 45-yard line. 1st down, Glade Central. Brought to you by HSS. Just a dot thrown to a receiver from a soft spot of the zone. Making the catch, making the conversion is Corday Kendall.
Yeah, you give the little fake to the outside like a hitch. They've run that a couple times. Kings bites on it, hit a receiver behind the defense. You hit him right in stride, did Barnes. Great pass there to help his offense move the chains.
Into clutch territory go the Glade Central Raiders offense. Red formation, 2 receivers on either side. Ball up right hash mark. Barnes hands it off, left side, big space for Stinford across the 40 and brought down short of that 30. And 3 or less for Glade Central attack.
You got to get Stinford going. He's one of those running backs that gets better as the game goes on. The one thing I will tell you, Captain, Glade Central has called all their timeouts here in the first half, so they don't have any. You got to make the call from the sideline and try to make the play on the field.
Barnes looking to throw down the far sideline, deflected at an incomplete. It was good coverage that time in the secondary by Sean Victor. The junior really did not leave much space for that ball. Could have been thrown for a completion.
Yeah, those windows of opportunity will be very small because Kings Academy is very disciplined. They're not going to hurt themselves. They won't make a lot of mistakes. Very uncharacteristic of them fumbling down there, which really gave Glade Central the only score here in the first half. But offensively, you've got to be able to find those small windows of your Barnes.
3rd down and 4 for the Glades. With the ball inside the plus 40-yard line. The only touchdown scored in this game from either side was a defensive touchdown scored on an offensive miscue. A fumble inside their own 5 on a snap to nobody, no quarterback. As Barnes looks to throw deep, pressure in his face, evades pressure across the 40, and wrapped up and brought down short of the line to gain. Nice tackle made by Hudson Champion to prevent Taj Barnes to get the line to gain. 1 yard short of the sticks.
Yeah, Champion covered a lot of ground on that play because had Barnes gone around that right side, he probably would have gotten not only a first down, but maybe even a touchdown. But here on 4th down, the Raiders are going to go for it. They've got to. No timeouts. Trying to get the play off before the 25-second clock.
1:40 to play in the first half. Glade Central up 7-zip over Kings Academy. On the right hash. Barnes with Stinford to his left in the shotgun. Brings over the slot man in motion from the left side. Trips right now as Barnes takes a snap, but that man who was brought in motion was going side to side, and before the ball was snapped, he took 2 steps up the field. That draws the false start. And that backs up Glade Central, turning a 4th and 1 into a much more challenging 4th and 6.
Yeah, that simulation, the start of a play as a defender goes toward the, offensive guy goes toward the line of scrimmage. Give the defense a false read, so they call it every time. You can do that in Canada. You can't do that in American football.
You can do that in Canada, maybe even the UFL, XFL for a little when they were experimenting with rules, but not in Florida high school football. It is 4th and 6. A long 4th and 6. Line to gain is the 35. Ball spotted at like the 41.5-yard line. Pivotal moment of the game right here. 1:27 to play in the first half. Glade Central trying to convert, and the clock will wind. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right. Stinford in the backfield alongside Taj Barnes. Looks to be a passing down. Slot receiver brought in motion. They run the same thing there as Barnes drops back and pass. Steps up in the pocket. Throws the ball across the middle of the field. Deflected and incomplete. Nearly picked off, but Kings Academy gets the stop. They get the turnover on downs. The pass breakup courtesy of James Powell.
Yeah, Powell did a great job on that, following the quarterback's eyes, because Barnes, he wanted to go from right to left, and he did. He threw the football back across the field, but led the defender right where his receiver was going. 2 guys in the same area. Bit of confusion by the Raiders. Coach Omar Huggable.
Yard line.
Oh, what the
Pass incomplete. Bring a fourth down for the Lions. 38.1 seconds left before halftime.
Nope, again. Wow, holy smokes. Why the frick do we keep losing it? All right, we literally cannot touch this wire, apparently. Okay.
Number 4, Nimbard on return for the Raiders.
Why on earth? All right, bring the tripod back. You're not live. For some reason,
You just want me to put it in.
I don't know, dude. For some reason, this thing just does not want to work. All right, let's try this again, I guess.
Raiders take over the first 10 ball resting at their own 44 line.
Hey, Brian.
False start call against the Raiders.
For some reason, the camera keeps tripping in and out. Sorry, it's been hell over here. I'm doing my best. Yeah, I try to touch the computer for 2 seconds and it all trips out. So, we're gonna come up with another plan at halftime. All right, bye.
First 15 Raiders ball rested at their own 40 yards.
Bruce's head coach of the year. Play action pass. Barnes evades pressure, steps into the pocket, tucks it, and runs it, and he will go down with a 3-yard gain. But the clock is rolling, and I think that's curtains on this offensive attack for Glade Central in the first half. As the clock will roll, and that looks like it will be it for Glade Central. They will not snap the football again, and we will head into the Safebound Moving and Storage halftime break. 7-0 Glade Central. It ain't pretty. Only score was a defensive touchdown and an offensive miscue. A disastrous snap on a trick play that went to nobody except for a Glade Central defensive man who scooped it up, walked in the end zone 4-6. That's your lone score this evening. It's Glade Central 7, Kings Academy 0, here live on ESPN West Palm's YouTube channel, Facebook page, and on Twitter, X at ESPN Top 63. We'll be right back with the Safebound Moving and Storage halftime show.
Theo Dorsey here at ESPN West Palm, and I'm joined now by Dan Burek, head coach for the Kings Academy, as he gears up for the game of the week in the opening round of the state playoffs against Glade Central. First and foremost, man, how do you surmise what y'all's regular season was like over the Lions?
Yeah, I mean, we had a tough season. We put on some people on the schedule that are a little bit tougher, and I know we finished 5-5, but most of our games, with the exception of one, really, we were in it till the fourth quarter. I mean, we lost games by 4, 3, or 2. Won games by 1, 3, or 2. So, it was just a really tough season, but it was a great season just to kind of see, we can kind of hang with anybody, especially up to the end. And it's something that I'm really proud about with these guys because it showed that we got integrity of finishing the game and never quitting.
Right. I mean, and at the end of the day, the goal is to make it into the playoffs, give yourself a chance to fight for a title, and you guys earn that. Do you feel like guys are coming in with more of a chip on their shoulder, with more hunger to be able to finish out games because of the way in which you lost those one-score games?
Yeah, definitely. Those whenever you lose a close game, it definitely stings a little bit more than if, you were to get blown out or something like that. So definitely they got a little chip on their shoulder. And, I just think it's kind of led up. God has kind of led us up to this, right? He gave us a bunch of adversity early on in the year and kind of just showed us like, hey, if we can continue just to do the things that we need to do, focus on what we need to do, we can end up winning games if we need to get into a dogfight.
Coach, I'm curious for you, is this team right here that you have, like, are y'all playing y'all's best football now, or at what point in the season do you feel like you started to get the most out of this unit, whether that be contributed to health, consistency, maybe a new form of chemistry? Like, where do you feel you are now based on where you've been all season?
I feel like we're playing our best football right now. We really are. I mean, we had a little bit of a hiccup against Archbishop McCarthy last week. They're a great football team. They got to run it going to state too. And so I would say right now we got guys that are just selling out for each other. Defense has been playing really great lately. We've got Levi in the middle because, kind of leading everything. And but offensively, we've had multiple guys stepped up, whether it's Arden Gentry, Tice Porche, Hudson Champion, even Levi's running the ball a little bit. So it's been really nice just to see that, doesn't matter who we call up to really, put the pressure on them. They're all kind of leading their way. So I think we're playing really great football. Special teams has been great for us lately. So I'm excited.
How have y'all done in the postseason in the past since you've taken over here, which I know has been the past 2 or 3 years now?
This will be the third year.
Third year.
Yeah, I mean, we've made it to the playoffs every year I've been here. The first year I took over, we made it to the first round. Didn't want to be satisfied with that, and then we were able to kind of, make it to the second round of the playoffs each year that I've been here. So, that's the goal, is to get past that second round. We got a really good team that we're going to be playing tonight at Glade Central, and but we feel really confident in what we need to do and what lies ahead for us to get to that next round and see, kind of where the chips fall.
You guys saw the Raiders team already this year. What is it about them that makes them a tough out, and how do you help circumvent that tonight as you guys look to get a win in advance?
Yeah, I mean, Coach O's been doing a great job over there, and I got a special relationship with the Glaze community. Being from going out to Glaze Day and playing out there, and just knowing a lot of guys out there. So it's really great to see what Coach O's done out there with restoring the culture and just having his guys believe in him. But they're a great team. I think that they're well coached. I think they got a lot of big time playmakers. Definitely quarterbacks, are definitely a good athlete. So when you play a team like that has quite a few athletes on it, you got to limit how many times they're going to touch the ball, or you got to limit the big plays. And we've been able to, the first time we played, we did a pretty good job at that. Kind of shot ourselves in the foot with a few turnovers late in the game that kind of shifted momentum in the wrong way, and then the late turnover kind of deflated us. So, if we can take away, just some of those things, I think we'll be fine against a really good team. They got some big offensive linemen. They got a really great running back. But we got a lot of good guys on our team as well.
When you have a team, have you been in a situation before
Second half action here live at regional quarterfinal. Christian Cat on the call alongside the coach, Jimmy Bell, between Kings Academy and Glades Central. You are watching the 2025 HSAA football regional quarterfinal on ESPN West Palm. This one's kick deep, returnable for Glades Central, 7-0. The Raiders on top, and it's returned across the 15-20 and brought down short of the 25-yard line. Only points in this game scored on the defensive side. Rights to the broadcast of this regional quarterfinal in the 2025 HSAA Class 2S football championships have been granted to ESPN 106.3 by the Florida High School Athletic Association and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our viewing audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the Florida High School Athletic Association is prohibited. Glades Central starts with the football on the 23-yard line. 1st and 10 Raiders.
Well, you like to see the Raiders adjust here in the second half. They got to run the football and try to get some yards.
They do just that up the middle, across the 25-yard line, a short gain on 1st down, setting up 2nd down and around 7. Saw a couple of opportunities in the first half for Glades Central in the pass. Going to ask a lot for them here in the second half. They want to keep the season alive. Pressure in the face of Barnes. He evades it, rolling to his right. Barnes does not evade the 2nd and 3rd guys. They wrap him up, one of which is Hudson Champion, also there to make the tackle in the backfield. Might have been Nathan Heyman.
You know, Barnes did a great job of evading the rusher, but his receiver was on a different page. He kept running down the field. Barnes came out trying to throw the football. It was a little too late. The defenders got there.
It will go down. It's a sack as he loses 2 yards on 2nd down. 3rd down and 9 coming up as Kings Academy is looking for just what the doctor ordered, which would be a 3-and-out defensively to come out of the halftime break. Barnes in the shotgun, 2 receivers right, 2 receivers split out wide to the left side. Taj directing traffic, ball on the right hash mark, needs 9 yards to move the chains. Looks deep, fires it near side, deflected and incomplete. Good play in the ball defensively that time in the secondary by Jack Miller. Kind of got his arm between the hands of the intended receiver for Glades Central to break it up.
Yeah, freshman Crawford, he had that one. The ball got on him a little quickly, but you've got to be able to squeeze the football, look it right into your hands.
Punt team coming out onto the field for Glades Central. Back deep to punt this one away for Glades Central. Xavier Flores. 1 man deep to return the punt. He's going to be at the 40-yard line for Kings Academy. As a 3-and-out is successful for Kings Academy. It's a good boot and returnable from the 46. Fumbled, ball loose. It could be anybody's. Glades Central had a good chance at it. Is it Raiders football? If it is, the place will come unglued. It is Glades Central football. Benjamin McPherson on the return, and the ball was a little bit low in his hands, may have hit his knee in the first contact that was made with the return man. He coughed it up immediately. Glades Central will get the football right around midfield.
Just what the doctor ordered for the Raiders. Now you got to try to take a chance down the field, hit a big shot. You got to get these receivers involved. They got to hold on to the football.
Kings Academy pretty much needs to play perfect football on defense and special teams if they want to come back in this game, judging by what we saw of their offense in the first half. So a special teams turnover, a fumble on the punt return is just downright detrimental. Second life for the offense of Glades Central. They go 3-and-out and get rewarded with the ball at the 48-yard line, just short of midfield on their own half of the field. 1st and 10, Glades Central. 10:08 to play in the 3rd quarter. Thank you for watching live on YouTube, ESPN Top 63 on Twitter, ESPN West Palm on YouTube, and ESPN West Palm on Facebook.
C-Cat, we missed one on that one. They also had a roughing the kicker on that, so Glades would have had a first down anyway, but I think I'd take it right there on the 48 instead.
So, little brief pause in the action before we get this fresh set of downs underway. As the official spots the football, and we're ready to rock and roll. Taj Barnes directs traffic. Kings showing pressure, and they back off on it. They bluff. Fire it across the middle of the field. Incomplete. Overshot Braden Brandt, his intended target. The senior receiver had some space across the middle of the field, and, Coach, something was missed there.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, that sudden change. Take a shot across the middle of the field, wide open. Barnes threw it a little too far for his receiver.
2nd and 10 for Glades Central. That time, Kings Academy on defense showed pressure. If you're on defense, looking at the quarterback from the left side, backed him out into coverage, and they sent pressure off the right edge, causing that ball to come out maybe a little bit quicker for Taj Barnes. 2nd down and 10 for Glades. Same spread formation. Barnes drops back to pass. Pressure in his face. He steps in the pocket, tucks in and runs across the 50, 45. It hit hard at the 45-yard line. It'll be 3rd down and 3.
Barnes did a great job of holding on to the football there. Took a big lick on that play. Being able to pull the football down is a plus for Glades Central. He saw nothing down the field. He got the ball out and just got about 7 yards on that play.
I feel like so many times we see from this Kings Academy defense, they'll force pressure, make Barnes tuck it and run it up the middle, but the D-line does not consider their job done. They'll chase him down from behind and deliver a hit from the D-line and the linebackers. We've seen that maybe 2 or 3 times this evening when Barnes has used his legs to gain positive yardage on a scramble. Here's 3rd down and 3 for Glades Central. Barnes trying to make some magic happen. He takes a snap, looks right, looking to pass. Now he tucks it and runs it again. Tucks it across the middle. Got the first down and more. Flag out. 35, 25 out of bounds. But it looks like there will be a hold called on this quarterback scramble, and back up Glades Central, taking away the HSS first down. The FHSAA is now on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and you guessed it, Snapchat. Tweet us, like us, and tag us on your social platforms by searching for FHSAA. Keep up with teams and people who strive to make high school athletics in the state of Florida the best. Be a fan of it all by following us on social media at FHSAA. And while you have you here for the latest of official news about Florida high school sports, including the results of all rounds in the 2025 FHSAA Football Championships, visit FHSAA.com, the official website of Florida High School Athletic Association. That's www.FHSAA.com. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.NFHSnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. 3rd and 11 after that holding penalty is doled out to the Raiders' offensive attack. Barnes drops back to pass. Looking across the middle of the field, throws it left side. It's caught 5 yards on the field. Broken tackle, still on his feet. At the sticks, it's been HSS first down. Move the chains.
You got a quarterback like Barnes in the backfield. He can make plays not only with his legs, but he's throwing the ball while he's on the run. Great job there on 3rd down.
1st and 10, Glades Central. Out in the muck for a regional quarterfinal. Win or go home. Glades on top 7-0 over Kings Academy. Rolling to his right. Barnes throwing it to the sideline. Caught at the 25-yard line. It's back-to-back HSS first downs. This time the catch was made by senior Braden Brandt to move the chains.
What you need a little rhythm offensively for Glades Central. Getting them on the edge because a lot of pressure is coming. Getting them on the edge away from that pressure. Great job there by Barnes on first down.
Rolling the clock with 8:35 to play in the 3rd quarter. Glades Central having their most successful offensive drive of the game. Looking to score their first offensive points of the game. And that will be after a sports certified powered by Vitacos is timeout called by Kings Academy as they try to catch their breath, try to recover, and try to put together a stop defensively.
Football state championship game. Intense action takes place December 5th.
The Florida High School Athletic Association recognizes its corporate partners who help make the FHSAA football championships possible. Team IP, the official merchandising company of the FHSAA, Gatorade Third Quester, Max Preps, official scores and statistics of the FHSAA, GoFan, official online ticket provider of the FHSAA, Herf Jones, the official championship ring partner of the FHSAA, the NFHS Network of the official online partner of the FHSAA, and Wilson, provider of the official game ball for the 2025 FHSAA Football Championships. 8:26 remain in this third quarter. Kings Academy looking to get a stop. Glade Central trying to change absolutely nothing. That offense has been kick-started by a gift given to them on special teams. They were held to a 3-and-out, but then a muff punt, not really, it's a fumble on the punt return, giving the football back. Barnes throws it out of the flats. Stinford caught to the 20, 15-10, and out of bounds for a first and goal situation. 3 straight plays, 3 straight HSS first downs for the Raider offense.
This offense is in rhythm now. Again, getting the ball out in space very quickly. Not as much time for Kings Academy to get pressure on Barnes.
It's been bend, a slight bend, not break from Kings Academy defensively. Strips left. Barnes looking to throw. Got a man in the end zone goal line. Stretches forward. He's in for 6. Touchdown, Glade Central.
You know, I talked about it in the first half. These receivers have to help the quarterback. That was a tough throw for the catch, but he did a great job, did the receiver, of catching the football and still finding the end zone.
It's a touchdown brought to you by Racetrack. Blackman on the catch, Blackman on the touchdown. From 8 yards out, Glade Central takes a 13-0 lead. 8:15 to play in the third quarter with a point after pending. Snap, hold, kick is good. 14-0, Glade Central on top of Kings Academy, and a challenging second half just got more difficult for Kings Academy as they've got to come up with 14 or more points offensively with about 20 minutes and 15 seconds of game clock remaining in what could be their final game of the season if they don't turn things around.
Yeah, it's been a tough quarter and a, 2 quarters and a half for Kings Academy because they've made a lot of mistakes, hurting themselves. Again, uncharacteristic of the way they play, but they made 2 huge mistakes here that's given them 14 points.
Glade Central with their first offensive touchdown of the game, coming with a little over 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. It was once again senior quarterback Taj Barnes throwing an out route to his receiver, freshman Majorion Blackman. Looks to be that same formation of just, I think it was 2 slant routes on the left side and then seeking the guy right where they vacated. Nice catch and good job keeping his balance from that receiver, freshman Blackman, to not only make the catch at the 4, but to not go down, stay in his feet, stretch that football forward to break the plane 4-6. On to kick this one deep is Javier Flores. Kings Academy would love to make a play on special teams to kickstart their offense. It's kicked deep and returnable from the 10-yard line across the 15, 20, 25, still going and brought down short of the 35-yard line. Good return that time made by Jacob Tilmay, the sophomore return man. The only real productive offensive drive we saw from Kings Academy so far in this game was aided by a roughing the passer penalty against Glade Central. So they really need a reversal of fortune here in the final 20 minutes of play.
Well, they can't panic. Again, you still got another quarter of football, but you got to find a way offensively to flip the field, give your defense a chance to get some rest, get some points on this drive.
Pistol formation, London Rensburg, sophomore quarterback. Motions over, Tomei to the right side. Drops back to pass. It was in the direction of Jack Miller. No dice. 2nd and 10.
Getting them out of character. They want to run the football. You force them to throw once they get behind. If you're Glade Central, you got to put pressure on them on the early downs to get them in long yardage situations.
2nd down and 10 for Kings Academy. Winner go home here in the regional quarterfinals. Hudson Champion brought inside to help block the handoff. Gentry up the middle. Gains 2 yards. And to be 3rd down and long for the Kings Academy offense. An uncomfortable spot for them where it is a clear passing down. Line to gain is the 44. Two receivers make it 3 receivers on that left side. Rensburg drops back to pass. The lefty quarterback throws across the middle. It's caught 2 yards short of the sticks. And going backwards is Jacob Tomei after making the catch. They're going to give him the 43. It's 4th and 1. Short of midfield at the 43-yard line.
You got to punt it away if you're the Lions. Again, running not past the sticks as a receiver. It's almost a sign for disaster. You got to get past the sticks because the defender's there to make a tackle. You won't get a first down.
Punt team on the field. Maybe a chance for a fake here on 4th and 1. How risky will Coach Burak get? Snap, and the punt will get away. No funny business, so this one's kicked deep and caught at the 15. Broken tackle at the 20 is where Glade Central will start after that modest return from Roman Nemhard. 6:54 to play in the 3rd quarter. Glade Central getting the football back after their first offensive touchdown drive of the game. They'll start at their own 20, 1st and 10, Glade Central Raiders. Football fans, the best games are yet to be played. Make plans to attend the 2025 Florida High School Football State Championship Games. The intense action takes place December 4th and 6th for the Rural and FIT Championships at the range at H.G. Morse Stadium. And December 10th through 13th for classes 1A through 7A at Pitbull Stadium at Florida International University in Miami. Come out and watch the best in Florida high school football play. Visit FHSAA website at FHSAA.com for more information.
Number 84.
Short gain on 1st down. 2nd and 6.
I think it's 2nd about 6 for the Raiders.
Very little room for error for the Kings Academy defense now, as Glade Central has the wind behind their sails. They've got the momentum, and they almost feel like they could put a kill shot with a touchdown here, even though we have over a quarter and a half to play. Barnes fires it left side, caught at the 20-yard line. Pardon me, at the 30-yard line. It is an HSS 1st down. Hold on, was the ball out? No, it was not. The knee was down. It looked like Kings Academy was pleading their case for a fumble and a turnover. But no, that is not the case. It is a HSS 1st down for Glade Central, and it will be a timeout called by the officials for a water break. 6 minutes to play here in the 3rd quarter. It's Glade Central 14, Kings Academy 0 on ESPN West Palm. And you are watching the 2025 FHSAA Football Region Quarterfinal on ESPN West Palm.
Play a vital role in maintaining the integrity of the interscholastic competition.
First and 10 after that HSS 1st down. Catch and conversion.
On the 31-yard line.
Coach, I got to imagine not only would points be good here for Glade Central, but they're trying to just shorten this game with rolling clock, as now we have 5:50 to play in the third quarter. Barnes drops back to pass, fires it in this corner route, caught at the 41-yard line, staying on his feet across the 50, 40, 35, and shoved out of bounds. Once again, the freshman receiver Blackman on the catch and the big gain. Move the chains into plus territory. First down brought to you by HSS for the Raiders.
Yeah, they found the open part of that zone inside. The officials missed one on the sideline there. Tackle out of bounds, about 5 yards out of bounds. You got to make that call to protect the player.
HSS first down. Down to the 30. Handoff inside. Stinford looking to deliver some punishment. He gains 6. It'll be second down and 4. Ball moved to the 25. Line to gain the 21. Glade Central moving with pace, moving with purpose.
Raiders, if they want to go far in these playoffs, they've got to run the football with Stanford. He gets better as the game goes on. Omar Hungerboom, he is a Hall of Fame quarterback from Troy University. He knows football. He understands it. Gets leverage here against this defense. He's got to put a score up here if he wants to get to the next round.
Yeah, HSS Florida, a proud partner of ESPN West Palm, thankfully giving us our first downs. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers to the left. Taj Barnes in the shotgun. Takes a snap, drops back to pass. Has heavy pressure in his face. Stiff arm, throws it away and incomplete. Stinford looked to be in the area. If he wasn't, it may have been a grounding call, but that running back was in the area of which quarterback Barnes got rid of the football. 5 minutes to play here in the third quarter. Glade Central 14. Kings Academy just trying to hold on. And you got to imagine creeping in the back of the head of these playmakers are thinking we really need a turnover here if you are Kings Academy and give something in the direction of the Lions.
Yeah, they need some life here. Do the Lions. They've got to find a way to get that football out. But Glade Central, the most success they've had is when they got rid of the ball very quickly. You don't have time. It's a lot of pressure defensively.
Barnes drops back to pass. Steps up. He tucks it and runs. Gets hit from behind at the 21-yard line. It's near the line to gain. I think they're going to give him the HSS first down. And Barnes kind of sticks that football out there when he tucks it and runs. When I say tuck and run, that's kind of a turn of the phrase. He's not tucking that football very deep into his chest with the 3 points of contact. He's kind of holding it out there like a loaf of bread, which is got to be anxiety-inducing for his sideline in terms of football protection. They're actually going to mark him initially short of the line to gain. And now they will bring out the chain gang to see whether or not he achieved the necessary yardage for a fresh set of downs.
Well, 'tis the season to be given if he keeps holding that football out because, again, it came out. He just happened to recover it. The official, I saw him throw the beanbag. So, again, you got to hold the ball high and tight if you're a quarterback running back in space.
And he is just barely short of the line to gain. 4th down and inches for the Glades Central offense. Now, Coach, the identity of this Glade Central offense has not running between the tackles tonight, at least. Do you divert from what you've been doing all game long, considering the situation?
Well, I would. I try to get under the center if I can and give them a different look. But Glade Central likes the gun. So I wouldn't be surprised if they try to throw it here on 4th down. They're just a little different than everyone else.
2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right for Glades Central. Going for it on 4th and inches. Barnes in the shotgun with Stinford to his left. They give it to Stinford up the middle. Fighting forward. Kings Academy's there. He fights forward at the end. Oh, it's very close. I think the last gasp effort for Stinford may have gotten him the yardage he needed to keep the drive alive. Kings Academy got an early hit on him to stall his progress, but Stinford never stopped moving his legs. They might bring out the chain gang once again to measure this one. Yes, that's going to be the case. Coach, did you see what I saw? It looked like Stinford was short until he wasn't. But I guess we will see. When the chain gang gets their cardio in as they jog on from the far sideline. Thank you so much for joining us live on YouTube, by the way. ESPN West Palm. We'll be live streaming as many games as we can until the end of this football season. Make sure you subscribe. ESPN West Palm, that is your home for high school football coverage across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. We love to make our way out to the muck here as they will rule a first down for Glade Central. By one length of the football, the Raiders keep their drive alive. 4:23 to play in the third quarter, 14-0. By about 6 inches, it's an HSS first down.
It's so important that they're able to run the football because as the weather changes late in these playoffs, it's going to get a little more difficult to throw the ball. Very slippery. You've got to be able to run the ball inside with Stanford.
Raiders ball resting at the 20-yard line.
Barnes in the shotgun, trips right, drops back to pass on 1st and 10. Steps in the pocket, he's going to use his legs. Pursuit of the ball carrier, Levi Champion makes the tackle. It's a 1-yard gain. 2nd down and 9.
Champion's ability to close on that is, next level. Again, Barnes had an open field over there. Had this guy blocked, he probably would have gotten him around the edge, but Champion closed that very quickly.
It's funny, odds are if a tackle's made, it's Champion. You might as well just guess whether it's Hudson, whether it's Levi. One of those brothers will make a tackle. Of course, Hudson the senior, Levi the junior. Levi nominated for the Groza Palm Beach County Player of the Year. Ball at the 20. 2nd down and 9.5 as Taj Barnes drops back to pass, looking right, firing your right side flats, called at the 20-yard line, across the 15, spin move at the 10, fighting forward. Is he out of bounds? Yes, he is. Inside the 5-yard line. First and goal, Glade Central. Another HSS first down to move the chains and set up Glade Central inside the 5-yard line.
Never a better run that you'll see that's not a score. He spin off there. The guy helped him up a little bit, but great job there on the sideline. Stepped out by a small inch there.
Marking him out of bounds at the 5. A little over 3 minutes to play in the third quarter. Glade Central taking control in the second half. Barnes looking to pass. Barnes has time until he doesn't. Rolls right, fires it. End zone, touchdown, Raiders! A scramble to the right, linking up with Armand Stimford in for 6.
What a luxury to have a running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield. Stimford went out of the backfield, defender draped all over him, but he's still able to catch the football. Barnes did a great job of putting it right on him.
A 5-yard touchdown catch. Brought to you by Racetrack. On for the point after comes kicker Javier Flores to try to make this a 21-0 lead. Glade Central dominating the second half. The kick is blocked. And the play is blown dead, so the score will remain 20-0. Glade Central on top of Kings Academy. I mentioned that touchdown was brought to you by Racetrack. Shout out Racetrack. They support our local high school football teams in the area. And, 7.5 million people pick Racetrack as a part of their daily routine every single week. And you should too. They're your one-stop shop for your football Friday nights, your college football Saturdays, and your pro football Sundays. I love Racetrack because they have the style of convenience of whatever gets you going. Whether you need a quick meal, whether you need an ice-cold drink, whether you need just to fill up your gas tank, Racetrack is the best option for you. Shout out Racetrack. They have a brand new meal deal going. You got to incorporate this into your breakfast schedule. I tell you what, it's nuts. A $4 meal deal gets you a small coffee, a hash brown, and a breakfast sandwich. Yeah, for $4. That's insane. $4 for the breakfast sandwich, the hash brown, and a small coffee. For $4, some coffees are more expensive at different places. Go to Racetrack, support them because they support our local high school communities. Racetrack, whatever gets you going. 3:06 to play in the third quarter. Glade Central taking a stranglehold on this game in the second half, scoring 2 touchdowns offensively, something they were not able to do once in the first half. The gauntlet is laid down for Kings Academy as they got to find some success offensively. Kick deep to the 5-yard line and returnable across the 10, 15, 20, and a nice tackle made by Glades Central return team. Dion Willingham pursues the ball carrier. Some pushing and shoving after the whistle.
85 on the stop for the Raiders.
Draws the ire of either sideline. And while we have a quick break in the action, how about sportsmanship? Perfect time to bring it up. Sportsmanship is having pride in your school, your team, and yourself. Sportsmanship is respect for the game and those who play it. The Florida High School Athletic Association reminds you, yeah, I'm talking to you, to take on the responsibility of good sportsmanship. Play strong, whatever that means. Play hard, play fair. This message is provided by this station, ESPN West Palm, and the FHSAA.
Sophomore Xavier Jackson got in a little mix-up there, but the coaches just said, hey, come on to the sideline. It's bigger than you. Don't make it about yourself.
Whatever team moves on from this game, they're going to need them. Want no ejections. A big hit made in the flats that time, made by Glades Central. And if you got frustrations with the other side, that's the way to vent them, with big legal football play hits.
The officials did a great job of a no call on that. Again, guys mixing it up a little bit, getting a little testy out there, but they did a great job of not making a call, throwing a flag on either side.
Second down and 14 after the loss on first down that time for Kings Academy. In the shotgun, Rensford, the left-handed quarterback, fires it across the middle, high, intercepted, going the other way. Vereen on his feet, and then brought down short of the 20-yard line. It's an interception by Dion Vereen. The freshman ball hawk makes the play. Could that be the nail in the coffin? First down, Raiders at the 24, knocking on the door of the red zone with 2:12 to play in the third quarter.
And this is what they're used to. Again, that height, the ability to come in and make plays after that, interception. This is what Glades Central is built on. They're going to come out with a lot of tenacity and try to play at a high level. If you don't meet that energy, they're going to run you out of this stadium.
First and 10, Glades Central here. Watching live on YouTube, thank you for joining us. As Barnes drops back to pass, fires it right side flats, caught at the 21-yard line. Shimmy shake, ball loose on the ground, and Kings Academy gets it right back. It's a turnover, strip, and recovery. Jack Miller scoops up the football, and just like that, the Lions get the football.
Exactly what they needed. Again, Glades Central's throwing the ball out in space. They found something here in the second half, but as a receiver, you got to hold on to the football. They're trying to tackle the ball. You got to protect the football.
2:02 to play in the third quarter. Lions really get their biggest play of the game. You kind of got to search far and wide, apart from maybe stops on third down, to find bright spots for this team. It's really not been their finest night. It's trying to turn things around, and they've got 14 minutes of game time remaining to try to keep their season alive. 20-0, Glades Central on top. Kings Academy playing from behind. Press coverage on the receivers of Kings. It is a handoff up the middle and going nowhere fast. Tackle for loss in the backfield on the inside run. Shooting the gap, making a big play that time with Sovereignson Paul. The do-it-all defensive lineman, the senior, stands at 6'3", 215, and he lowered the boom on Roman Driggers that time in the backfield. It's a 4-yard loss, second down and long for Kings Academy. 1:30 to play in the third quarter, 20-0 Glades on top. Drop him at a pass in the empty set. Rensburg throws a deep ball. It's overshot everybody, incomplete. The man in the area was Benjamin McPherson, but this pass game just simply has not been competitive so far tonight.
Yeah, non-existence, because, again, Glades Central has made them one-dimensional, forcing them to have to throw the football. Kings Academy's used to running the ball, running the clock out, playing very close to the vest. They've had to change their game plan here in the second half.
Trying to find something is head coach Dan Barak. This has not gone the way he had hoped in the first round of these playoffs. Here out in the muck. 1:20 to play in the third quarter. Rensburg dropped back to pass. Pressure, and he's sacked. Brought down in the backfield. The hit made by Vincavius Jones. The junior defensive tackle gets home and puts a stop to that drive. 4th down and very long. Punt team coming onto the field for the Lions.
That energy defensively came from the offense. Again, getting the interception, then a sudden change. We fumble on offense, and the Raiders will go right back out. We'll fix it defensively. We've done a great job of adjusting here in the second half.
The snap is fine. The kick is away on the punt to wave the white flag on that offensive drive. Good field position coming up for Glade Central as that ball checks up at the 41-yard line short of midfield. So everything is going Glade Central's way except for that one fumble that we had in order to give the football back to Kings Academy. But anything from scrimmage has really been in the direction of the Raiders from the muck. Coming to this game at 9-1 on the season. They really have had their way. Only loss of the year came to Sebring in a 1-point ball game here in this building. It's been the defense, it's been the offense. Glades has really put together a complete second half.
Yeah, that 1-point loss came on senior night for the Raiders. Again, just a more physical team in Sebring. Kings came in with the same mindset, but they made some mistakes themselves that have hurt them and got them behind the 8 ball.
Ball at the 43-yard line. 1st and 10, Glade Central with 30 seconds to play in this third quarter. It's a draw, a handoff. Stimford is very patient back there, and he eventually gains about 3 to 4 yards on 1st and 10. And that will be the end. Well, actually, they're going to blow the whistle for an injured player to halt the clock with 15 seconds to play in this third quarter. And while we have this break in the action, it's an injury timeout, courtesy of Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost. For the latest official news about Florida high school sports, including the results of all rounds in the 2025 FHSAA Football Championships, simply visit FHS.com. Catch live and on-demand postseason coverage of Florida high school sports at www.nfhsnetwork.com. Brought to you by the NFHS Network, the official online partner of the FHSAA. This is ESPN West Palm. Thank you so much for joining us. My name is Christian Cat on the call, alongside the coach, Jimmy Bell. Thank you for sticking with us through some technical difficulties. Internet sometimes hard to come by when you get this close to the Glades, the Everglades, that is. And that will be the end of your third quarter. They'll flip sides, and we will take a Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost timeout. 20-0. Glades Central over Kings Academy. ESPN West Palm. Glade Central with the football on 2nd and 7. They've got the football in plus territory, have dominated this second half, outscoring Kings Academy 13-0. Pressure in his face as Barnes tucks it and runs once again across the 40, 35, and brought down short of the 30-yard line. We've kind of seen Kings Academy tackle Barnes up high. He's not the heaviest quarterback, and he got a couple of strong linebackers, defensive linemen, but but Barnes has gotten enough movement upfield in order to turn those into gains, even though the first man bring him down sometimes.
Yeah, he has. Again, just being able to get out of the pocket. Nice clock in his head. I like what he's doing at the quarterback position. Only thing I'd like him to do is hold on to the football. He's got to tuck that ball away.
And you saw that flag come out. It's a sideline warning, and that's the first warning that we've seen doled out to the home team. So no penalty yardage, and the gain that time from Barnes on the quarterback was enough for an HSS first down. Shout out HSS Florida, proud partner of high school athletics here in Palm Beach County and also across the Treasure Coast. So 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Glade Central in plus territory. 11:50 remains here in the game. Ball near the left part of the field. Barnes has 2 receivers on that shorter side, 2 receivers on the longer side on the right side. Stinford on the carry. Left side, actually, no, this time it's not Stinford. Big carry this time from James Ingram. The freshman running back gets a carry and gains 5-6 yards on first down, setting up second down and shorter.
You know, Stinford goes out for 2 plays. Again, you need him in the running back position. He's back in now. Hurt his arm on that play. His elbow, he was trying to get some medical attention over there, but he's back in the game. He's going to help this offense down the road.
About 6 yards, 2nd and 4.
Second down and 4, the official ruling. It's the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith, Ball, Baez, and Prather. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. In the spread formation, Barnes has been there all night long. Stinford in the backfield lays a block for him. Barnes throws to the right sideline. It's caught at the sticks. Stiff arm, staying in bounds, staying on his feet. And now eventually ushered out of bounds. That was Joseph, the junior receiver, on the catch and on the HSS first down conversion. It's a long throw across the field for a gain of around 6 yards.
Yeah, about 40 yards, again, from the left hash to the right sideline. But again, you look about these receivers here in the second half. They've been catching the football. They dropped several balls in the first half. Could have made this game a little different. But now here in the second half, they're concentrating a little bit more.
Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Coach. Maybe those drops in the first half was covering up and putting a Band-Aid on Glade Central, who really was controlling the tempo of this game and had opportunities there. They are seizing those opportunities in the second half, unlike the first. Barnes, pressure in his face, escapes right side, throws it to the goal line, jump ball incomplete. Leaping towards the sideline, I'm not sure if he would have gotten feet down either way if that football was catchable or caught. And instead, it would be second down and 10.
You know, just only need 1 foot down in high school. Again, he put it out there where his receiver could catch it. Like you mentioned, just a little too far out of bounds.
So it is second down. Here in the fourth quarter, it's 10:25 remaining in the fourth quarter of this regional quarterfinal. It is the Class 2A Region 3 quarterfinal. Thank you so much for joining us on ESPN West Palm on YouTube. This is the home of high school sports across Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. If you haven't yet, hit that subscribe button. Second and 10. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. Play action pass. Barnes looking to throw. He gets thrown down to the ground, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass as Stinford nearly caught the throwaway. It's important whether or not that's an incomplete pass or if it is a sack, and they're going to call it an incomplete pass as that ball one-hopped into the hands of the running back Stinford. So it'll be third down and 10 for Glade Central.
You may have noticed here in the second half, CCAT, the quick passes have worked much better for Glade Central because there's not as much pressure on Barnes. Once he drops back and those long developing routes, Kings Academy has been able to get in the backfield and cause some problems with his offense.
Line to gain is the 9 inside that 10-yard line. You can see the sticks across the field. Taj Barnes has been a very good leader for this team. He really knows where everyone should be lined up. And if anything's slightly off, you see him directing traffic, not looking to the sideline for help necessarily, but telling everybody what they need to do and, more importantly, where they need to be. A sports certified powered by Vitacost timeout is called. 20-0. Glade Central on top of Kings Academy with 10:19 to play here in the fourth quarter. Smith Ball Buyers and Prather, Florida Injury Lawyers, proud to be the presenting sponsor of High School Game Day on ESPN 106.3. If you have been in a car accident or maybe someone you know, they should call now for a free consultation. The sooner you call, the sooner the lawyers, the professionals at Smith Ball Buyers and Prather can start putting their extensive experiences and their extensive resources to work for you. You do not pay anything unless they make a recovery for you. You can call right now, 500-HELP. That's 5LP. With Smith Ball Buyers and Prather, help is just a local phone call away. Offices are conveniently located in Palm Beach Gardens, Boca Raton, and Port St. Lucie. Sports certified, powered by Vitacost. Timeout called on the field there before this 3rd and 10 play is ran by Glade Central. Glade Central has 3 touchdowns in this game. One via the defensive side of the football early in the first quarter on just an offensive calamitous error by Kings Academy. And then 2 touchdowns added in the second half by the offense of the Raiders. 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left as Taj Barnes trying to pass on 3rd and 10. Pressure in his face, throws it left side, and it's incomplete. Glade Central wants either defensive pass interference or a hold on a receiver who's trying to spring free into the flats. No flag is thrown, and instead it'll be 4th and 10.
Well, how about both? Because it was both on that play. Again, he grabbed the running back, twisted him around, and also pass interference, which could have been called very easily on that. Glade Central still throwing the ball. I thought they would be running it by now, trying to get out of here.
4th and 10 coming up for Glade Central. See what Glade Central wants to do here. It appears they're going to bring their kicker Javier Flores onto the field. We've seen him punt and we've seen him kick, and this time he is going to try to kick this one through. It'll be a 35-yard attempt from the right portion of the field. Snap, hold, kick is up. It's got the distance. Does it have the direction? Yes, it is. It's a good 35-yard field goal, and Glade Central extends their lead to 23-0 with 10:07 to play in the fourth quarter. In sports and in life, how you move matters. So when injuries or pain get in the way, the orthopedic specialists at HSS Florida provide world-class care to get you moving again. From non-surgical and surgical care to personalized rehabilitation, HSS Florida offers the same quality and expertise you'd expect from HSS, the world's #1 orthopedic care. With 2 convenient locations in West Palm Beach and in Wellington, learn more at hss.edu/Florida. Choose better, move better with HSS. Glade Central going to kick this one back away after converting on that field goal. When he went deeper and deeper into the playoffs, especially on the smaller school level, Glade Central here in Class 2A, having a kicker that can nail one from 35 yards out, and he had the distance, honestly, on that one from maybe 40, 45 yards, it can be an X factor.
Well, that's almost unheard of in the Glades. I mean, usually they don't kick field goals or extra points. They go for 2 because they usually don't find the kicker, but he's a commodity to have for this Glade Central Raider team, as you mentioned.
Ball kicked deep and trying to make something of that return is Kings Academy, but they were not able to. And a flag comes out late. What we can assume to be a personal foul called on one of the sides. The big bumble of bodies, and the official ruling will be communicated to us after they sort things out. One of our proud partners of high school athletics is Safebound Moving and Storage. Not all moves reflect your lifestyle. At Safebound Luxury, we provide white glove services tailored for high-end homes, fine art, and designer furnishings. Our expert team ensures every piece is packed, transported, and placed with precision and care. If you're relocating a residence that deserves more than just the basic move, schedule your private consultation today at safeboundluxury.com to experience the difference. It's not just a move. Safebound is the art of moving. No one likes moving themselves. Rensburg fires it across the middle, and the ball is dropped incomplete. Good play on the football that time from the secondary of Glade Central to force that one out. I believe making the play was senior defensive back Caleb Knight, preventing the catch and 6 or 7 yard gain.
You're the Raiders. You can tee off now because you know they got to throw the football. Again, good play call there, but the ball thrown a little behind the receiver. Raiders were all over to make great play defensively.
2nd and 10. Kings Academy grasping for life here. Rensburg fires a deep ball on the far sideline. Going up for it at midfield. Is the catch made? Waiting for the ruling. Officials conferring. It would have been a beautiful play. Incomplete. Benjamin McPherson looked like he caught the ball, but maybe didn't get the foot down. And you know what? Glade Central's done a really good job defensively. It's probably the best throw of the game we've seen from London Rensburg. It's the only place that ball could have been thrown for it to be caught, but it just wasn't in the cards on 2nd and 10. We'll see what the Lions draw up on 3rd and 10. Third and 10 is Rensburg. Pressure in his face. Throws across the middle. It's going to be called at the 35-yard line and brought down at the 37. Line to gain is the 40. And Kings Academy really has no choice but to go for it here. 9:33 to play in the 4th quarter. They trail 23-0. 3-possession ball game. Need 3 touchdowns and at least 2 two-point conversions. Never say never. Pistol formation, early movement, blowing this play dead. False start going to be called against Kings Academy, turning what was going to be a 4th and 3 into a 4th and 8. Not what the doctor ordered for head coach Dan Burak and his squad trying to crawl back into this game. Just been that kind of night. Now it's now or never for Kings Academy. As Rensburg tries to pass, free rusher, he gets clobbered, incomplete pass. Unblocked coming off the right edge was Glade Central. I believe it might have been Gary Mann coming off the side unblocked, impacting the throw. It's a turnover on downs. Glade Central gets the football back with 9:02 to play in the 4th quarter. Moss Plus by Messi is hydration plus more. A beverage like no other made to give everyone, not just elite athletes, an extra boost of positivity and inspiration every day. Created by Leo Messi. Moss Plus delivers a balanced blend of electrolytes with natural flavors, no artificial sweeteners or colors, no caffeine, and only 1 gram of cane sugar, plus vitamins and more, with no compromise on quality ingredients and amazing taste. Floridians can purchase Moss Plus by Messi at Walmart or online at mossbymessi.com. Short gain on 1st down, setting up 2nd down and 6.
This is when the Raiders have to do their best coaching job because there's a lot of pushing and going back and forth. The officials are trying to keep it close, but they got to make sure that their guys don't get into a physical altercation with Kings Academy. They got to go on to the next round. They'll be winner. And Somerset Academy.
Coach, when you have one down, they don't make a risk. Maybe if they want to and show their anger after winning does. You got to do that. Does do team playoffs? Quick pass near side behind the line of scrimmage. You go to the ball carrier that time, made by Jack Miller. Grab the receiver, catch Algernon Crawford immediately and never let go. And Miller's got to be careful there because he made a nice play on the football, but played deep through the whistle. No flag, no penalty doled out. Thank you goes out to that you see at the bottom of the screen as you watch this game on YouTube, ESPN West Palm, on Facebook, West Palm, and on X, ESPN Top 63. Without our wonderful partners, we would not be able to cover these games. So make sure you support those that support our local communities, local high schools like Kings Academy and Glade Central. Barnes looking to pass and rolling to his right. Steps up, heavy pressure, and he gets sacked. Brought down at the 37-yard line for a big loss.
So I'm coaching him up right here, right? Barnes, when you get that look, just throw it toward a receiver. You're in the pocket, but if you get it near a receiver, you don't take that big sack. And down the road in these playoffs, those plays may come into play because you may be in a field goal situation. You don't want to lose yardage.
There's going to be a hold called against Glade Central, and it will be declined because of that big sack and the big loss. You might as well take the loss down and the big loss rather than replay that down with the 10-yard penalty. Down, and we did see Javier Flores nail a 35-yarder, but from here would be 50 set up in the punt formation instead to try to pin Kings Academy deep with a coffin corner or at least inside the 10-yard line with a punt here. Flores setting up at the 49-yard line. Snap is a good one. The catch is made and the punt is away. It's deep and not returning this one. Instead, it'll be a touchback as it lands 8 yards deep of the end zone for that said touchback. I love Culligan Water because they support our local high school football teams. Snowbirds, welcome back. Time to trade in your coats and hats for swim trunks and sunscreen and get your home ready for company. Before arrives and the toasts begin, make sure your home's shape. Hard water and hidden minerals can leave for laundry and dry out your skin. Not exactly what you're looking for when you come down to South Florida. Schedule your free water test today. Make sure your water is clear and as that. Color. Was actually tied in their match. A shocker. Sideline. They give him 3.
And we
Champion. I'm not sure if Levi Champion was going out there to block or just bracing himself when he saw the defender coming his way unblocked. Either way, it's an incomplete pass, and it is now 3rd down and 7. Under 6 to play in this game. And the score holds true. You'll have Glade Central move on to the regional semifinal next week. Rensburg throws it across the middle. It's caught for an HSS. No, it's incomplete. A big hit laid on Jacob Tomei, and he had the football for a minute, but a tackle was made by Daryl Goring. And a flag comes out very, very late. And, Coach, what do you anticipate the penalty flag to be on?
Well, Coach Omar Hogabo walked out on the field about 10 yards, and the officials called it because they'd already given him a sideline warning. That's real important as they get ready to run the sideline. It protects them. They've got to stay back.
So that might just be a first down for Kings Academy. It would have been fourth down. And yes, it is an infraction against Glade Central to move the chains for the Lions and keep this offensive drive alive. And while that is the good news, the bad news is you do have an injured Kings Academy lying down on the field. It's Jacob Tomei, who was on the lesser end of that hit across the middle. It's a sports certified, powered by Vitacost timeout called on the field. And really good news for Kings Academy, as on his feet, Jacob Tomei jogged back to the sideline. You could not ask for a better result like that, because that was a punishing blow across the middle of the field. A clean hit, don't get me wrong, right in the midsection, but it was a punishing blow, to say the least. 1st and 10 from the 39-yard line. That's a first down for Kings Academy due to the sideline infraction. Their second offense, it goes from warning, as Coach mentioned, to an actual penalty dished out. Rensburg in the pistol. In the backfield is Roman Driggers, the junior. Both these guys will be on this team, barring transfer next year, trying to build that chemistry, build that offensive attack. A lot of departures from last year's Kings Academy team. It was kind of understood that this is going to be a building year, try to develop these young men and get better and better each and every week. As the Glade Central Raiders are feeling themselves on the sidelines, they are jazzed up and enjoying the spoils of victory here, as this one might be a formality for the final 5 minutes and 37 seconds of game time. Triggers motion out to the left side. They throw it to the left side. It's going to be caught at the 44-yard line. Champion on the catch. Champion gets close to the line to gain. Hudson Champion on the catch, and he is down 1 yard short of the line to gain. So they won't move the chains for an HSS first down quite yet. It'll be 2nd and 1. Rensburg throws it left sideline, caught at the 38 for an HSS first down. A far pass thrown to the long side of the field, and Benjamin McPherson kind of caught that one like a punt, but as a catch nonetheless to move the chains. 1st and 10, TKA. At the 36, it's 1st and 10, Kings Academy. Trips right, lone receiver left. Triggers motion out of the backfield as Rensburg throws that left side again. Once again, McPherson on the catch. Broken 2 tackles. He fights forward and gains 9 yards. 2nd down and 1.
If you're a fan of Kings Academy, you're saying, where has this been all season? We can throw the football, right? But you can also remember the Raiders are backing off, allowing them to catch everything in front of them because they don't want to get an easy touchdown. Good job by Kings of moving the ball, but the Raiders are playing a little soft on the defense.
27-yard line.
Man put in motion. Rensburg looking to throw. Throws it right side flats, and a big hit's made. Incomplete. Wow. Lowering the boon is Nemhard. The senior DB delivers a car crash.
Yeah, good hit on that. But again, give him credit for not standing over the guy. You could have taunted him. The officials obviously would have called it. A good job there being disciplined after a nice hit.
Coach, you coached in the area for a long time. I got to imagine you found yourself in spots coaching a team in a playoff game where the score is out of hand and you're on the wrong end of that. What style of coach is it like from the sideline of the team who is down by a lot with not enough time to come back in a playoff game?
Well, what you're looking for is guys who never give up, because you in life, sometimes they're better than you that day, but you got to find a way to fight through it in spite of. So that's what Kings Academy is doing. You got to give them credit.
Incomplete pass across the middle, 4th down and 2 with 4:12 to play in the 4th quarter. Glade Central 23. Kings Academy 0. Kings with that football in plus territory, finding a little bit of mojo there. And as Coach mentioned, Glade Central playing very conservative defensively. Pistol formation. Rensburg in the shotgun takes that snap. Hands the ball up to Driggers up the middle, and Driggers looks like he got the necessary yardage to move the chains for the HSS. Timeout called, brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by Vitacost. An injury on the field by a Glade Central Raider. Thanks for sticking around for the technical difficulty way here at the home of the Raiders. 3:30 play in the fourth quarter. 23-0. Glade Central in control of this one over Kings Academy. These two teams played earlier on in the season. Glade Central got the 22-19 win at Kings Academy. And this time, Glade Central at home. Game not as close and contested. The Raiders are about 3.5 minutes away from securing a first-round playoff win under the Friday night lights in front of their home crowd. One of our wonderful partners of ESPN West Palm's high school football coverage is Land Rover Palm Beach. You can lease the brand new 2026 Range Rover Velar P250S or check out the bold and rugged 2025 Defender 110 P300S. Whether you're looking to the game or you're cruising to the beach, Land Rover Palm Beach has the luxury SUV to match your lifestyle. Stop by today. They're located on Okeechobee Boulevard, just past the turnpike. And the ball deflecting the air. It's caught at the goal line in the end zone for 6. A circus play that time. Touchdown by Jack Miller gives Kings Academy their first touchdown of the game in dramatic fashion. Wow. Make sure you rewatch that on YouTube. What a play by Jack Miller catching the juggle pass. There were two different Glade Central Raiders their area, but neither of which could haul in the football. 2v1, that time, Bandit Jack nowhere, interrupting, talking about going for 2. Here comes firing it left side flats. It's caught wrapped up in a no-good two-point conversion. A nice form tackle made by Glade Central to snuff out the two-point try. 3:27 to play in the fourth quarter. 3-6 now the score. Glade Central still the lead here, and they're on top now by 17. So it now will be a three-possession ball game if they could convert on that two-point try. There was a inkling of a chance, but the math pretty difficult to envision a Kings Academy comeback when they need to get the football 3 times in 3:27 after kicking the football off to Glade Central.
You're the Raiders. You know they're going to come with an onside kick. So, again, possession is 9/10 of the law. Get the football, and you're Omar Hogable. You better run the football and get out of here. You want to get out safely and get any of your guys injured to try to run this last 3:27 out.
As I was saying about Landover Palm Beach, if you spot an athlete lighting up the field with a Player of the Week worthy performance, just hit up our DMs at ESPN West Palm and let us know. Land Rover Palm Beach, above and beyond. So Kings Academy will be lining up for that onside kick. They've got no choice in the matter. Need to get the football 3 times. Onside kick. Reminder, you can go on Twitter at ESPN and check out all the final scores across the playoffs in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. Onside kicks loose. Ball's still loose. Kings Academy had a really good chance at it. Waiting for the official ruling, and it is going to be Kings Academy football. A textbook onside kick. How about that? Jake DePaul with a beautiful boot. 3:20 remain in this game, and Kings Academy had a little bit of a chance, and they seized the opportunity to give the football back to their offense at the 47-yard line in plus territory after the onside kick was successfully recovered. So Driggers is in the backfield. I doubt they're going to hand it to him because you need to save time and you need to get the football down the field and do it quick. Trips right, lone receiver left, Driggers in motion. Rensburg across the middle. It's dropped. No two ways about it. Ball off the hands of Sean Victor and incomplete. First down, 10. No gain. It's now 2nd and 10. Ball at the 47. Trips right, lone receiver left. Same exact formation with the pistol. Rensburg does hand it off to Driggers on the draw play up the middle, and he gains 5 yards. It's now 3rd down and 5.
You're hoping to catch his defense off balance in terms of going up the field, give him an inside draw, but that takes a lot of time. So got to hustle back to the line of scrimmage if you're the Lions.
Stick around after the final whistle to give you the Duffy's MVP of the game. Rolling right, firing right. Driggers catch it to the backfield across the 40, 35. At the 30, it's an HSS first down. Move the chains for Kings Academy. Clock will stop for the time being to move the chains, and it'll be reset when that football is spotted. The clock right now reads 2:46 to play in the fourth quarter. And the clock rolls. Rensburg trying to command this offense and pull off a heroic comeback as Rensburg drops back to pass. Pressure in his face, throws it left side, caught in the flats by Champion. Levi Champion on the move. Left side. Actually, Hudson Champion on the catch and nearly gets the conversion. It's a matter of where he went out of bounds. Hudson Champion made the catch on a drag route across the middle of the field, and we're just trying to outrun the defenseman. Will they move the chains or won't they? No, they do not. They mark him out of bounds short of the line of gain, and the officials are going to blow the whistles dead. Actually, it'll be a Glade Central timeout call to allow them to take their time a little bit and reset the chains and spot the football. So they're going to spot him out of bounds at the 21-yard line. Line to gain is the 20. Second down and short with 2:30 to play in the fourth quarter.
Again, if you're the Raiders, the clock is your friend. So anybody that catches the football, runs the football, you got to tackle them inbounds. You got to find a way to get them on the ground and keep that clock going here in the fourth quarter.
It's a sports certified, powered by VitaCost timeout called. Thank you to the many that have stuck with us on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, taking on in high school athletics in Palm Beach County and the Treasure Coast. Does it get much better than playoff time under the Friday Night Lights? I don't think it can. $2:30 remains in this fourth quarter. It's 2nd and 1 for Kings Academy. Rensburg, they recovered an onside kick, did Kings Academy, to get the football back. Down by 17 is Kings. 2 receivers left, 2 receivers to the right. In the backfield is Driggers. Motion him outside, drops back to pass to Rensburg, rolling right. Looking for somebody, throws it to the end zone, jump ball, deflected, incomplete. It was 2v2 in the end zone, thrown in the middle of the mass of those 4 bodies, 2 of which were Kings Academy, 2 of which were Glade Central. Deflected off the hands of a Raider and falled incomplete. 2:23 now remains in the fourth quarter. It's now 3rd down and 1. 23-6 the score. Kings Academy trying to pull off a very unlikely comeback if you were to ask us 10 minutes ago. Champion brought in motion. That's Hudson Champion. It's an inside handoff and going nowhere on 3rd and 1. Didn't get the line to gain. It's now 4th and short. In fact, he lost the yard there. 4th and 2 for Kings Academy, and the clock's rolling. About 2 minutes to go in the game.
The mindset of the Lions on that play, but you got to get the first down. As you mentioned, he lost. Yard clock is continuing to roll on this.
Rensburg in the empty set. Now or never on 4th and 2. Drops back to pass. London rolls right, fires across the middle. It's incomplete. What a hit and what a pass breakup. That time, he's been doing it all night long. Ron Nemhard on the game-sealing pass breakup on 4th and short. Turnover on downs, and Glade Central takes over with 1:33 to play in the game, and they can just take a couple of knees and finish this one up.
Yeah, when this defense has needed to play all night on special teams, he's been able to come up from the secondary. Legal hits, clean hits, and that's what you want to see from a defensive back, is have your head on a swivel and make sure that they don't get any yardage after the catch.
You know, Coach, after this final whistle is blown, we are going to dole out the Duffy's MVP of the game. And Nemhard's played really good tonight. And not often, unless he's a couple of pick sixes, do you hear a defensive back winning a player of the game now an award, but he is certainly in the running for it. 2 back set, no knee taken. Instead, it's an inside handoff to Stinford, and Stinford gains a couple of yards, and it is now 2nd down and 7. So a timeout is going to be called, brought to you by Sports Certified, powered by VitaCost, to prevent this game going to triple zeros. 1:26 to play in the game when that timeout was called. So Kings Academy is going to force Glade Central to get one more first down to officially end this ball game. You know, Taj Barnes did not have too much support from his targets in that first half. He was putting the football in good spots, tight spots sometimes wide open spots, a lot of drops, and those drops just did not happen in the second half, and that's why you saw Glade Central really take control of this game after the halftime break.
They did, and again, just giving guys the ball in space. He did a good job of throwing it, but sometimes receivers, they're looking for the defender. You got to settle down. They did a good job here in the second half of catching the football and yards after the catch.
Yeah, and you're exactly right, Coach. It's a hard-hitting defense for Kings Academy, and especially in the first half when they weren't on the field for as long as they have been in the second half, they had ample energy, and they were delivering hard hits. And as you mentioned, those receivers probably anticipating those hits before they came. Here is 2nd down and 7. Stinford the carry. Plenty of blocking. Stinford across the 35. He gets the HSS first down, and he will put this game on ice. Wow, I don't think we've seen an offensive line push like that from either side all game long. There were defensive linemen who were 8 yards in the defensive backfield because of the offensive line push by the Raiders on that 2nd down carry. HSS first down, 1st and 10 for Glade Central. No timeout taken. So now Glade Central can, if they want to, take one more knee. I'm not sure how the math works out. Maybe it had to be 2 more knees and win this ball game and advance to the regional semifinals here in the 3rd region of Class 2A, as one of our teams is guaranteed to move on to the next round and play in next week. It'll be a handoff. Stinford up the middle. Glade Central playing to the final whistle. And some conversations being had after that final, not the final whistle, but after the whistle of that play. And now a timeout is going to be called by Kings Academy with 35 seconds to play in the 4th quarter. I think Kings Academy is just a big fan of Sports Certified powered by Vitacost because they take that time out to give a shout out to Sports Certified powered by Vitacost. Coach, I asked you the question before, when it's a big blowout and you're down by a lot, what that coaching's like. How about here with 35 seconds to go in the game? You've got a couple of seniors on the team of Kings Academy, and their high school football career is over. Hudson Champion, Arden Gentry, Tice Porche, Peyton Hughes. Like, no more football after this for them at the high school level. What are the emotions like that in that huddle?
Well, it's tough because you understand the finality of it all, but you knew if you didn't win it, this was going to be it. So, again, you had a great career. You take the experiences from this and you say to these guys, listen, we left it all on the field, and that's what you want. You come into this program, you're either going to win a championship or you're going to come up a little short. These guys did a great job from Kings Academy.
The good news for Kings Academy is they've got Levi Champion, Benjamin McPherson, Roman Driggers, Jack Miller, all coming back in 2025 if they stay with Kings Academy, as they are the junior class. A lot of snaps under their belt, meaningful snaps under their belt, and plenty more to come if they stick with Coach Dan Burak for their senior campaign. And that will be the final snap of the game, and that will be curtains. Glade Central gets the win, 23-6. Year 2 of the rebuild for head coach Omar Hugabook, the Groza nominated coach of the year. Omar Hugabook gets a win with his Glade Central Raiders, 23-6 over Kings Academy to advance to the regional semifinals. Coach, you mentioned before the other side of the bracket for this region. Who are the 2 teams that are competing right now?
It's going to be Lakewood or Somerset Academy out of Boynton Beach. So one of those 2 teams will come out as a second round opponent for Glade Central.
So Lakewood or Somerset Academy, that is your look ahead, brought to you by the Boca Bowl, as we don't know for sure what game we're covering next week, as it'll all depend on who wins this week. So that's your look ahead, brought to you by the Boca Bowl, because we're looking ahead here at ESPN West Palm, December 23rd, 2 p.m. on ESPN. You do not want to miss that game at Flagler Credit Union Stadium on the campus of FAU. 2 of the best teams from the group of 5, or maybe even a Power 4 school making their way to Boca Raton for the Boca Bowl. Again, December 23rd, 2 p.m. at Flagler Credit Union Stadium. That's our look ahead, brought to you by the Boca Bowl. How about our Duffy's MVP of the game? Couple of options there. Taj Barnes was calm, cool, collected, shook off some early inconsistencies of his offense in the first half, where Glade Central did not find the end zone offensively. But I think that we're going to make a little bit of history here for 2025 and give the Duffy's MVP of the game to defensive back, senior Rowan Nemhard. He was all over the field tonight. Several pass breakups, couple of tackles for loss. Rowan was all over the field here in this do-or-die playoff game.
You know, one of those guys, to me, really an unsung hero, because you usually don't give it to a defensive guy. Usually one of those flashy offensive guys, but tonight he turned the tide for this team by getting special teams plays and playing well on the defensive side. I think he really deserves it.
Thank you so much for joining us here on ESPN West Palm on Facebook, ESPN West Palm on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button, because we're going to be on the road next week and the week after that and the week after that. As long as we've got a team across Palm Beach County or the Treasure Coast alive in the FHSAA playoffs, we will be covering their games. For the coach, Jimmy Bell, I am Christian Cat. Thank you for joining us. This has been the HSS Game of the Week, supported by Smith, Ball, Bias, and Prather. Final score, Glade Central 23. They're moving on. Kings Academy 6.